Some people think that they need a course, a title, or some sort of badge to become project managers, but that's far from the truth. The real work to become a project manager, and a relevant project manager at that, starts way before you get a title, way before you get any kind of badge. Here's a fun fact: more than half of the people that are currently working in project management today started without any formal training. That only goes to show you the level of demand we've had over the years and we continue to have for project management professionals. Here's another fun fact for you. As the world is changing, also, the project management has had to evolve with the world. The fundamentals still remain the same, but there's more focus on specific skill sets than ever before now. Hi, my name is Ola, and in this series, we're going to be talking about the skill sets and the experiences you need to make sure that you are gaining to remain relevant in the project management industry. I'm going to be talking from my experiences and the things I've learned in the 15 years that I've been in the project management profession, and from my observations with my mentees and my students as well. By the end of this series, you should be clear on what you already know how to do well, where your gaps are, and what you need to do to start filling the gaps quickly. So if you're thinking of transitioning into project management, or you're in your early stage of project management, this is a video and a series for you. So let's do this. This video series is for aspiring project managers and emerging or junior project managers. You're all starting from different places, but the same reality. You don't need a project to be physically handed to you to be able to start building your project management experience. And similarly, if you're already working in the project space, you don't need a bigger title or a bigger project to start demonstrating leadership abilities. There are projects everywhere. If work is set up to solve a problem, improve a product or a service or a process, or meet some sort of regulatory deadline, that's a project. So if you look around you in your current job, with your team, in your community, there's projects all around that you can do. You see, this is where people miss it. They think the value is in the project itself, but actually, the value is in how you show up in that project, how you take advantage of the opportunities that are around you. Most people just do the task, but very few take ownership of the outcomes. And that gap is where experience is really built. And this really matters. Whether you're trying to transition into project management, trying to move forward, or trying to stay relevant. What matters now is not just ticking boxes, it's showing ownership, it's showing judgment, and showing delivery. Let me show you how to do that practically. So, if you are an emerging or junior project manager, I want you to start doing three things from today. The first thing is I want you to own the problem before you own the task. What do I mean? Before you're hurrying to do a task or solve a problem, I want you to understand why that problem matters. If you're already in the industry, you know that not all problems and not all tasks are created equally. There's a priority order. So one thing is more important than the other. So if you're not clear on what the problem is and why it's important, you might end up majoring on the minor. Okay, so it's very important that you find that clarity first. Now, so how do you do that? You can write the statement down. The problem this task or the project is solving is, and write it down. What exactly is this solving? This will give you a clear understanding, and you will by default then be able to pass that information clearly to your team and to senior stakeholders that need to know as well. That's the first thing I want you to do going forward all the time. You can either write it down or do it mentally as well. The next thing I want you to do is reduce the noise for others. What do I mean? Keep your updates clear, keep them short, keep them concise. Does this mean that you don't know the detail? No. It means that you keep the details that you do know to yourself first. Keep it short, keep it concise, keep it high level. Now, if your senior stakeholder or your or any stakeholder wants more detail, they will ask. At least, and again, it doesn't mean that you need to know every single detail. No, you're not a subject matter expert, but it's always good to know the next level of detail down so that if you're asked a question, you can answer, right? Because if you just give the high level view, then again, you don't look very professional either because you've not given them enough depth. So you can say, this is a high level view. If you want more detail, I'm happy to provide it. That's how you make that statement. So when you're writing your updates and your summaries, make them short. And this is what you want to keep in your summaries. The context. What has changed that's making this an issue or a problem or a task? What decision is needed and what needs to happen next? Because sometimes the decision that is needed is not a decision you can make. Something needs to happen next. All right. Then the third thing I want you to start doing is I want you to close small loops properly. Many PMs start things, but they don't finish it cleanly. And I'm not just saying finishing the project as a whole, but when you get a task, when you finish solving a problem, finish it well. Small task or a work stream. What do I mean? Write out what has happened. Do a lessons learned on it. Even if it's so small, you write what the lesson is for someone else. Put it in your lessons learned log. You don't have to wait to have a workshop to make a note of some lessons learned. Now I'm hearing established project managers saying to me that, well, there's not enough time to put all of that detail down. There's so many things going on in projects. I know, but make a note. You can develop the note later on, but finish it. Now, if you escalated an issue or you told your stakeholders that this is an issue, I'm resolving it, and I'll let you know. Once you've resolved it, come back. Tell them what you've done, how you've improved it, right? And what is going to happen differently next time so that it doesn't happen again, right? That is what you should be doing to close out the loop properly. Okay, so those are the three things if you are an emerging or junior project manager. Now, if you are an aspiring project manager or you're a career changer, these are the things that I want you to do. Same principles, but different. First of all, I want you to stop looking for a project management project. You don't need permission, like we've already said. Look for work inside where you're already working already. Anything that there's confusion, there's a handoff, there's a deadline, people are avoiding it, treat it as a project, even if no one else calls it a project. Let me give you a practical example. One of my very first projects I ever did, and I didn't even know it was a project at that time, was when my bank, because I started my career in banking, when my bank was doing a software upgrade. At that time, I heard that the last time they did the software upgrade, it was difficult, it was painful, and there was not enough adoption, i.e., what I mean by that is the users did not quickly start using the new tool. Instead, they kept on going back to the old tool. Why? Because they didn't understand the new tool well enough, and and the transition was not smooth. So it made the adoption hard. And I had heard how bad the other delivery had gone. So I asked my boss and I nominated myself. I said, I'd like to support this next software upgrade. Mainly because I was being selfish. I didn't want to go through the pain that everybody else had gone through. That was the first thing. I ended up coordinating that activity for my team from end to end. And that what I mean by that is from sensitizing my team and their joining team about what this upgrade meant for them, being among the first people to test the upgrade, telling my users when the upgrade is coming, what they need to do when the upgrade arrives, how the transition is going to work, how they're going to give us feedback, and when the legacy system or the old system is going to be shut down so that everybody is clear. I did all of that, but I didn't know it was project management at the time. But guess what? When I was ready to go into project management, of course, that's one of the first things I put in my CV. So look around you. There are projects that you can do, you can nominate yourself to be part of and get your hands dirty and get stuck in basically and do the work. All right. So that's the first thing I want you to do. The next thing I want you to do is practice explaining the work, not just doing it. You know, sometimes we do all the tasks and you wonder why you're not visible, you wonder why people can't see what you're doing, or you wonder why you yourself, you're not sure that it's project management experience because you are not learning how to say what you've done, how to explain what you've done. So after any piece of work, I want you to write what the problem was that existed, what changed and what improved. The example I gave a minute ago, I was able to explain why it was a problem, why the software upgrade was a problem, what I did about it. I nominated myself, and eventually the IT team nominated other people as well to be part of that transition. I now know that we were change champions. At the time, I didn't. Okay. And we walked through it. I've clearly explained what happened for you. So that's what you need to practice. Every time you complete something, make sure you can explain it. Write it down in your brag sheet because you need to start documenting your evidence. It will help you at interviews, it will help you when you're crafting your CV, and it will help you even in the job when you can clearly relate your experience to what you now need to do. And then thirdly, same as for emerging PMs, I want you to finish something small on purpose. Okay. Choose a small piece of work, complete it end to end, and then close it out properly. That might be by writing a lessons learned report, doing a closure report, but just close it out properly. Okay. Now, that's it. That's the amount we're going to be able to share in this video. What have we learned today? How to get experience, how to show leadership, how to start being more proactive. Our programs, your first or next project, we go deeper and make this practical for everyone, so that you can ensure that what you're doing counts, right? If you check in the link in the description, you see all about our community. You're welcome to join. We'd love to see you in there. So wait a minute. If you're anything like me, you're asking, so how do I get actually good projects that I can work on? How can I make sure that I'm visible on my projects? We cover that in the next video. Okay, we cover that in the next video completely. If you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel. This is a series. There are about 5 videos in this series. We'd like to hear from you. Give us your feedback, and I'll see you in the